Hello, good evening, happy day, everybody seeing this video. I'm just, I want to share something very deep and important for me and for you all. So I've been asking myself lately that why, what is my true innate purpose here? What is my true life purpose? Why am I here? Why am I doing all this work? Why have I been doing all this spiritual work with myself, this body work with myself, this self-love practice, this forgiveness practices, this inner child healing, this constant observation of how I treat my body and my soul, and how, to become awake and how to become connected with the divine in me, how to see that the divine is in me, how to show everybody that divine is in them, especially women. Women really inspire me to see the woman in myself, that God woman. So I didn't really get a specific answer to that. I was just following my intuition and showing up and sharing that came through. And a lot of it had to do with embodiment and feminine embodiment. And I realized tonight, just now 5 minutes ago, that I got the answer of what my life purpose really is. And that is for women to stop punishing themselves. And why is that my life purpose? Is because that has been my freaking deepest, craziest self-realization. I found myself fully when I realized how much I was punishing myself as a woman, as a girl, how painfully I was treating my body for these past 29 years. And I'm not even saying that as a victim, but I'm saying that as somebody who has been through hell with her body and is now seeing that and feeling so sorry for myself. I feel so sorry for that woman who has been always so beautiful and always such a goddess, but she had so much mental conditioning around her body image. And when I see other women seeing they look so, they're inside out perfect. I mean, what is perfection anyway? But they're inside out divine, and they are so potent. You women are so potent, and you have it all. You have so much power to make it all happen. And each and every time I saw a woman really downgrading herself and belittling herself and feeling sorry for being who she is, like, I'm so sorry I'm so loud, I'm so sorry I'm asking all these questions, I'm so sorry that I am too intense, I'm so sorry that, I'm so like crazy, or I'm so different, or I wear these clothes, or I look this way, like all, there is not a single woman who hasn't in any way been punishing toward herself. And each time I saw that, something in my heart was clicking in. Like I felt that I really want to show them how beautiful they are, but they cannot see it from me until they really feel it and believe it. And that's how I was with myself. I never fully, like, everybody was saying so many, you know, like everybody who I could open my heart to, they showed so much love toward me, and they told me all the nicest things, but I could not believe them. I told them, or I thought that, you know, they're lying, because I couldn't see that in myself, and I constantly tried to fit into this perfectionist, perfect shape. And I just want and wish every woman to be in the most loving relationship with their bodies, and to really start to honor their existence and their ever-changing shape and form, and to see their inner beauty, and to really shine their light in their life, in their business, in their relationship with themselves, with their loved ones. This is that what will take you to the next level. When you celebrate your mistakes, when you celebrate your flaws in your body, when you stop feeding your unworthiness, start asking for help, start asking for wealth, for that who you are, start asking for recognition, but first and foremost from yourself. And I am just coming out of that lifelong phase of always trying to reach that next level with my body, and completely forcing it into pain, into exhaustion, completely disconnected from my sexuality, feeling shameful about my belly, and shameful about, you know, having self-pleasure or having sex, and having distorted body image, and always like constantly nagging in my head that how disgusting I look. Every time I went to the mirror, the same story. My belly looks disgusting, my shoulders are so tight, my boobs are so little, my face is too fat. And I was programmed to constantly jump into the version of my life where, you know, I developed these beliefs about myself, and I brought these beliefs and these realities to my present moment. I mean, if you are a woman, I invite you to really look at yourself and look into yourself and ask yourself, like, when you go to the mirror, try to observe what is the first thing you notice. And if you are somebody, you know, who tends to have this people-pleasing mentality, or tries to everybody to like you, or tries to fit in, maybe just ask yourself where have you, you know, got this idea, or why are you doing that? Because the answers will come within you. Like I was the most people pleaser ever in my childhood, in my early like teenage years. Like I was constantly suppressing myself and then also punishing myself when I was standing up for my needs, and when I was, you know, being somehow different. I always felt different, but I couldn't express it. I was so afraid to feel rejection, and I was like, okay, I might as well, you know, just try to fit in, but I was like suffocating. And that's why I was living in my shadow, and that's why I couldn't, you know, stand out. I always felt that I know I am special. You are all special. We are all divine goddesses. But I just could not shine because the shadow was too big, too strong. And I was constant in this cycle. And the more I tried to be perfect, and the more I used this self-punishment to get results, the worse it got. I got results when I was extremely intensely efforting myself and working, like putting more effort than anybody else, you know. And when I reached the results with this crazy effort, I was like, okay, that's life. But I knew inside that there is something more. And just recently I realized the value of relaxation and letting go and honoring the body and feeling into the body and breathing into the body and moving into the body and sounding through the body and feeling my womb center. I'm only seeing number synchronicities here as I talk, like all these video numbers like 11, 11, 12, 12, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4. It's a sign. 2, 2, 2. And you, as you are who you are seeing this video, it's a sign for you. You are here for a reason. And I know that my work from now on, my online courses, I had a lot of confusion with that as well, with my healing journeys. I know that this all is gonna be dedicated to help women get out of that punishment cycle, because this is a really deep level programming for each woman to feel insecure, to feel in any way insecure, to be in the fear energy, so that woman will be disconnected from her divinity, from her womb center, 1313. And because women, you are leaders, we are leaders of this planet when we are in our full essence. And that only comes when we fully love ourselves. And it's not the cheesy way of saying love yourself. This comes from here, you know. I love myself. You all love yourself fully. It's through the body. It's through the womb. Stop seeing your mistakes. Start celebrating your mistakes and your flaws. Stop pushing yourself. Start honoring where you are. Stop feeling disgust. Be humble for all these beautiful aspects of your body and your soul. You did not choose this body for without a reason. Like, this is social conditioning to fit in a certain shape, to eat in a certain way. You did not come here for that. You came here so that your soul can express yourself full on through that exact shape, through that exact food intake, through that exact movement. My life was a living hell when I only lived for having that perfect body shape through crazy workout. I felt so much anxiety. And when I had such a control over my food, and I could not stop thinking about the next meal. And I was such, in my later teenage years and my university times, and later I was emotional eating. Like I was not feeling into my body. I could not feel my intense emotions, and I was numbing with food constantly. I was afraid of my emotions. But I was a slave. Like I was the slave to food. I was slave to my body, because I was constantly rejecting my body and I was rejecting food. Yet I loved food. I still love it. And I love bodies. I love different shapes and forms when I see that externally. At the same time, I was so disconnected and so hating myself, up until very recently. And even now, like my body, my knees are in a pain, you know, my hips are in pain, my wrist is in pain. Today I fell down trying some snowboarding. My shoulders are intense, my belly feels heavy from time to time, my inner thighs have certain pain, you know, my ankles. When I sit for a long time, I stand up, my feet, I can't walk normally, because I did for 1 year 2 hours running every day, non-stop. I had mornings when I was so anxious and I was like crying, I don't wanna go to do this freaking running, but I am so afraid when I don't do this run, I will become fat. Fear of becoming fat was my biggest fear for 15 years. This was such a strong mental programming. I was a slave to it. I was so deep in it, I couldn't see the light. I was so deep in my eating disorders. It was anorexia, but it was also like very controlling veganism and raw eating, and like it was fun sometimes, you know, like it felt like I'm really doing good to the planet. I'm like, I felt at ease in my body oftentimes, but long term I wasn't doing good to my soul and to myself, true self. Like, because as humans you cannot be perfect in one thing all the time. I couldn't be perfect in my food all the time, but I still, when I fell back, I started to punish myself. I started to eat less and move more. I was so freaking dependent on the physical results. And deep underneath that was the fact that I couldn't accept my inner child. I couldn't love her. I was angry at her. I was angry at her choices. I was angry, disappointed, disgusted that my soul chose this kind of life and this body, and I wanted to get out of that body. So spirituality came along. And at the beginning, spirituality brought me so much ease and like, wow, it feels great. Like, I got in touch with the divine, with the cosmic knowledge, but that I also was floating. I loved that. I love to be floating. I love the experiences of like not being connected with the ground. And I actually always wanted to escape, because being in my body felt super heavy. Because my origin is also not from this planet, and my previous lifetime did not happen in this planet. So for me, being in my body always felt weird, heavy, and that's also one of the reasons why I developed all these disorders and perfectionism, and try to really feel so light. But and also I saw a video of myself today, like of myself 2 years ago, and I was dancing on this video, and I looked beyond skinny, and at that time I remember I felt heavy. I thought like I looked at myself from the mirror with the same, like, wow, my lower belly. For the past 10 plus years, 17 years, I've been looking at my belly. I know that there is a root cause for that, that comes also from my childhood. But the point here is that no matter what body shape I was in, I had the same disorder in the mind, all over belly. You look like that. Of course I created that. Inner thighs. So, boobies. And I saw that woman who was dancing 2 years ago, super skinny, like unhealthy skinny. And at that time, she was not perfect. She was punishing herself. She felt ugly and like fatty or like ugly shape. And today my weight is like maybe 10 kilos more, you know. I have become a woman. And it has been so difficult for me to accept it. These last months, I have been like starting to get used to my feminine body. And really trusting that our shapes are forever changing. And I felt so sorry for that woman. And I started to remember all these years that I was like, at that time taking the photo, I was so ashamed by my shape. I always thought that I am like super weird belly, fat booty, I'm a fatty girl, ugly shape, my belly is always fat. Every single time, no matter what shape I was in. And now looking back to all these photos, I'm like, am I kidding? Like, what was I thinking? Of course, I had a programming in my mind. And I know that many of you can resonate with that when you look at yourself on the photos. I actually invite you, take a photo of yours from the past, look at you, and like describe her. And try to remember, what did you think at that time taking the photo? And I also invite you to just take a normal photo. Try not to be anything. And start to observe, what do you see? Like, do you want to reach a perfectionism? Do you want to try to change your face to look that somebody would like it? Or, you know, like, I wish and I intend and I do my best for us women to like really stop this bullshit. You have to know who you are. You are a goddess. You are divine in this amazing body. The moment we stop trying to be perfect, we become perfect. I'm so tired of this constant fight with myself. And I know that every single woman has wanted to change something in themselves. Because you are made to think that you are less than perfect. We have to unite, and we like really need to make this happen for our children, for the planet, for the men. Now I know my life purpose, because I overcame the deepest of the deepest pain with my body, with my nourishment, and I have learned and channeled so much wisdom, how I helped myself out of that, and I am gonna share that with you all. So there is a lot to come, and really looking forward to working with all of you. Like, we need to rise out of that victim role. Okay, I'm wishing you a beautiful night, and maybe I'm gonna go cry some more, because it's a really beautiful realization when you know who you are and why you're here, and that you, whatever you have overcome, you know that there are so many other people who need that, what you overcame. And let us do our best to share our experience with those who need that the most right now. So I'm sending you so much love, and know that you are so supported and you are so fucking beautiful, and you need to only be yourself. We are programmed that this is the hardest thing, but actually it's the easiest. Bye for now.